going down. It's going down.
5 p.m. But like today it was a bit strange because no one really replied. I just said, okay, we'll do it next week. But yeah, like it wasn't clear, but there'll be something.
Cool. Yeah.
Y'all tell anybody I kill you! I kill you!
He's crackhead in the town.
Peanut butter and crackhead.
He kicked his habit back in the joint. Now he's out on coins.
Here I come!
He's finally home. He's Tyrone.
Is that from the Chappelle Show?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen like bits and pieces, like an episode here and there.
Hell yeah,
it was
dude.
pretty funny, like where like there was like one episode where like KFC and some like Fubu merged or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Or like the one where like what if black people got all the money or whatever, like, you know what I mean, like and what they did with it was like buy Newports and shit, and like, you know, like and like malt liquor.
Yeah. Like, so not okay for today's award, but like, yeah, that's awesome shit.
Hello?
Hey, can we talk for a sec?
Yeah, I guess. What's up?
I know we've been through our ups and downs, but I still really have feelings for you.
You're joking.
You know, like...
What am I just supposed to overlook the fact that you fucked my dad? Fuck you.
You're not.
Oh man.
Holy crap.
I don't know what happened there. That was like technical difficulties or something, man. You know, like somebody hacked me or whatever, or I don't know.
Jesus.
But
Hey, brother.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah, I hear you.
Sulaba. There you go. Sorry, I'm trying to get my headphones set up. Sorry if my audio sounds a little jacked up, folks. What's going on, Andre? Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone of the MC Bleeding Edge. So excited. I see you got your X-Men shirt. I got mine. I think you can see mine.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
There we go. No, I got the headphones on now. Good. There we go. All right. I'm great. I got my X-Men animated shirt on. Gotta love that shit, right?
Yes.
That's a classic right there. That you know, I swear, it looks just like the artwork. We should pull this up for whoever handled the pencils, whatever, whatnot, everything, and the colors on the actual X-Men individual comic run. Remember when they split the two teams? We talked about that, and the blue team and the yellow team.
Yeah.
The gold team, and they came out with the X-Men, self-titled series. That's a lot. This is what the artwork reminds me of on the T-shirts. Is that same, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. Right now, I'm trying to think. I think that's maybe Jim Lee, because Jim
Lee.
Yeah, because because around this time during the 90s, from 1990 through 91, Jim Lee was like the artist for the Chris Claremont X-Men run. So that could be that or someone else.
It would have been Jim Lee and then other people too. But I'll look into it and whatnot. So that'll be something that I'll write down and jot down in my notes, like for next week before we go into Monday. Is to get into a little bit more into the comic book stuff and whatnot. But folks, we've got an interesting episode episode this week. We're reviewing the X-Men animated original series, episodes 1 and 2. Now, the conflicting titles on those, they're on Wikipedia. I got 2 different responses. The second episode is also considered the Night of the Sentinels. Then it also has another title, right? It's weird. But either way, we're starting off with, for the first time on the MCU's Bleeding Edge in months, DCU gun talk. And we're going to be spearheading that with Andreas over here, Mr. Time Cop, Time Lord himself, here on New Year's Day. Because we haven't talked casting or Superman Legacy or anything or anything like that, whatnot, months. So we felt like it was time for us to head in that direction. A la the thumbnail, right? So you threw some articles at me from Deadline and Variety, Time Lord, sir.
Yes.
What are we getting into here this evening for our DC our initial DCU segment?
Well, first off, we missed out 2 major castings. We got one for Lex Luthor. We finally got our Lex Luthor casting after the huge delay of the strike. So it was like around November, right after the strike was over, we got our initial casting of Lex Luthor. And then around the beginning of December, we got another major casting. And this one, a lot of people were making such a big deal out of this because, Gunn cast his brother, Sean Gunn, who played Kraglin in the Guardians films, but also played Rocket as the motion capture sequence, before they, digitalize Rocket as a character in the movie. But yeah, so right now, so let's start with Sean Gunn. You have it right there.
Explain who the villain Maxwell Lord is really quick and whatnot to everybody out there that's not familiar, folks, like out there in the audience, and me too as well.
Yeah. So it was ingenious with your text. I was like, okay. So obviously, Maxwell Lord, he's an evil businessman. He's also a man-human in the comics. He was first introduced in, I think, the late 80s during the Justice League International run. And he's been he's been in live action stuff. He was in Supergirl, the TV show, Smallville. He was in the 1987 run, and he was in the Justice League Unlimited as well in season 2. And then he was in Wonder Woman 1984 as the main villain with Cheetah. Of course, there he was played by Pedro Pascal. By the way, Pascal, great actor. So, and he was really the best part about that movie.
Gonna be Reed Richards?
Yes, he could be Reed Richards if that is gonna be confirmed.
It looks like to me if they're ever gonna start the fucking movie, they need a Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Comic-Con's around that corner, so they can announce it.
I did not mean to cut you off, sir. Please continue.
No, that's okay. I mean, it seems like a legit rumor that he's gonna be Mr. Fantastic.
It does sound like a legit rumor. That's why I had to say something about it, because they're making it sound like it's legit.
Yeah, exactly. And so so we're getting our that quickly a character from the previous continuity, aka the DCEU, now going into the DCU, and so Maxwell Lord is going to be in Superman Legacy. It sounds like he's going to be a small role. I'm trying to remember what was the details, but this is good news. Right now we can I'm just gonna have this spectacle thing about the Justice League. Right now we haven't discussed the reboot of the Justice League for James Gunn, right? Having Maxwell Lord there is actually a good thing because he is actually a liaison person with the superheroes, and he helps out with the media and all that stuff, like the press and all that stuff. But while at the same time, he's like this secret supervillain with the a supervillain behind the scenes, and you can go either way with this character in this new continuity. So this would be a good way to set up Maxwell Lord. He could pop up in not only Superman, the other DC movie, The Authority. I could see Maxwell Lord be this type of government official, sort of like a level of Nick Fury for the DC stuff. And it could be a twist where you think he's recruiting the superheroes, but maybe he wants to steal something from them, maybe their powers or whatnot. So that was the major casting, and then we got Lex Luthor. So
hold on, I'm gonna pull up a different article.
Okay. But yeah, so Max Luthor is a great character. I'm very excited. I don't know if they're gonna make him a metahuman in this currently. Well, it should be. I mean, like, it should be there. So, but we'll see how this version of Max Luthor.
Why would it? What? Oh, you're talking about Max Lord. I'm sorry. I'm pulling up the Lex Luthor thing. It got me just twisted up for a minute and whatnot. I've got your article pulled up now. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. So we're done with Max Lord. I hope everyone understands what that character is about. So he's an evil businessman who has superpowers. He is a major character in DC. He affects a lot of events. Like he stole, a high tech machine from Batman one time. Wonder Woman breaks his neck. That's the big famous thing about Maxwell Lord, is that he controls Superman, and there was no other choice. So Wonder Woman break Maxwell Lord's neck to free Superman from that, control of telepathic ability from Maxwell Lord. So interesting stuff with Max Lord. I highly recommend check out the old Justice League run and the National run from the 80s. He was pretty good there. So ready to talk about Lex Luthor? You ready for that, Jeff?
Yeah, I got it ready. I got it pulled up.
Okay, so yeah, and then the big major one happened. This is the first thing that happened after the strike was over, is that we got our Lex Luthor. So Nicholas Hoult, aka Beast from the X-Men movies, from First Class to Dark Phoenix, the man from The Great, the TV show from Hulu, films like What About a Boy, The Menu, Mad Max Fury Road. Great actor. He is.
What was that zombie movie that he was in? That love story movie.
Oh my God. I know what you're talking about. Warm Bodies.
I'll find it. Warm Bodies. That was a good one, man. I like that one.
Yes. With Therese Plummer, the Australian actress, and his co-star was supposed to be Talia al Ghul in the unproduced George Miller Justice League Immortal. So that's an interesting fact. So,
add that movie to our review list on Andre's The Pop Culture Guy Presents.
What? The Warm Bodies?
Warm Bodies.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. So I will keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll put it in my agenda. Anyway, so he's gonna be our Lex Luthor. So really cool. We know he's they have another villain from this casting, the Engineer. I guess that's gonna be the main villain for the Superman Lexi.
Now the Engineer comes from the Authority.
Yes. So I can see Lex. I can see Lex Luthor in this movie as maybe the secondary antagonist, sort of like, I don't know, Loki from the first Thor movie or something like that, where he is like the behind the scenes kind of villain. Yeah. So
Nathan Fillion is not going to be Green Lantern. Nathan Fillion is going to be Guy Gardner.
Yeah. I mean, Guy Gardner is Green Lantern. So
yeah. Well, no, you're right. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. I'm saying he's not the Green Lantern.
Yeah. No. That's kind of tough.
I get why it's written like that by Green Lantern. Yeah, I get I get it. I understand why it's written like that now.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird they're not saying that, because Hawk Girl is the same thing. That's not the Hawk Girl we know, but at the same time, it's like you have to simplify it in the article. So yeah. So
no, I know, but from a mass audience standpoint, though, you know what I'm saying? Like a mass, societal standpoint, right now, right? If you didn't know the way that that's written, you might think that the only Green Lantern would be this character, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. sort of.
So,
I mean, people.
no,
I mean,
but I see why Variety would anticipate though that anybody reading this article would automatically understand, right?
yeah. I mean, they
I get it.
assume. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think the general populace know about the Green Lantern Corps. Like, they know there's been multiple Green Lanterns. So, I mean, what else can I say? But yeah. So besides that, besides the engineer casting, Lex is here. So, Jeff, what's your opinion on Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor? I like the casting. I mean,
he's the only one I know about. I mean, honestly, all these other names, right? That I added to the thumbnails when I was pre-scheduling the show. All these different actors and actresses, because I don't follow pop culture as heavily as you do.
Yeah.
And I'm not as dialed in. And just to be clear, I'm going to let you know right now, the cat's out of the bag. Me and Trevor walked out on Aquaman 2, bro. We couldn't do it.
Oh, really?
We couldn't do it. You tried to warn me, didn't you?
I didn't see Aquaman 2 yet, so I'm.
Okay. I wanted to make sure because, like, you never know. Because I when I told you that I was going to see it, you made a comment in response, so I didn't know if maybe you'd already seen it already. I couldn't remember.
I mean, the reviews.
I feel bad now. I didn't mean to spoil it for you, bro. But yeah, we walked out, bro. We couldn't do it.
Hey, I don't blame you. I mean, some critics like it, some people didn't. So.
It's so polar opposite in the first Aquaman film. The entire disposition of the movie, because in complete contrast, it's not even the same type of film.
No,
the serious tone of it and whatnot is gone completely. They try to go totally whimsical and humoristic with it. Everything's a gag, right?
Yeah,
and we couldn't do it.
Wow.
I told you Trevor has a good sense of this stuff too, just like I do. You know what I'm saying? My kids both do. And like at the end of Wakanda Forever, right? I was like, what'd you think of that shit? And he was like, that was terrible. Right? So I mean, both my kids are disillusioned from the MCU. Like they don't keep up anymore. That just to give you just to give people a reference here, my kids are both teenagers, and they're both kind of dissuaded from the MCU right now. Just to be clear, I know we're talking Marvel right now, but they're all kind of conflates. And I just went to see Aquaman 2, and me and my son walked out after about the first like 35 minutes, probably. It wasn't worth another 2 hours or another hour and a half of that. I'm not trying to say anybody else shouldn't go out and see it. Now, as far as the casting news goes, I know Nicholas Hoult is. So for me, that's an easy grab, Andreas, for me to just go with that. But I understand how big Lex Luthor can be in the Gunn's new, in his first chapter of Gods and Monsters, right? Having a backbone arch villain would really that can kind of be stuck into different properties, right, and moved around like a movable piece like that. That's big. That's huge for a Gunn to be able to have that there established, right? So the fact that he's going to be a Superman legacy only makes sense to me. It really does, because for those of you out there who don't know, Superman Legacy is supposed to hit theaters on July 11th, 2025. And after Creature Commandos and the Waller TV series, it's the first actual feature film under Gunn's run. That's why it's been floated that he may direct the film. Whether he will or not, I don't think he will, personally. But we'll see what happens, right? We don't know. As far as the other actors and actresses that they casted,
sorry to interrupt you. You say for Superman Legacy?
Yeah, it's been floated that he might direct the film himself.
Oh no, that's been confirmed for a long time. He's
it's confirmed. He is directing it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go then. So, see, now I didn't know that. Now, I'm glad you illuminated that and everything and whatnot, because there's probably other people out there besides me that didn't know. So no, I had no idea that it was already confirmed. But I'm glad he's directing it. It's his vision, right?
Yeah.
So as far as the other castings go, I mean, honestly, if Gunn picked them or was involved in picking them, then I'm sure that they're all qualified actors and actresses and whatnot playing the characters. I already know who Fillion is, obviously. So
Fillion is good.
They already used him in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he jumps around other he was in Suicide Squad too, right? That Gunn directed. And Suicide
DC
Squad, the Suicide Squad, yeah, that's what got him in. That's what got him his gig.
Yeah. Well, it's actually funny. I don't know if you know this, but Nathan Fillion always been the top choice for a Green Lantern actor. Like he was always the top choice to play Hal Jordan. I don't know if you know that from.
Just because he has those movie looks or whatever, whatnot to him. Those natural, like the male lead actor looks or whatever to him.
Yeah, like right, like it was always seems like that, right? And the voice, he had a good voice for.
Yeah, he does
Hal
have that
Jordan.
voice too. You're right. Didn't he do some DC animated stuff?
Yeah. So
I was gonna say, I remember from our DC animated reviews, us talking about him.
yes, he's gonna pop up in our next one. I don't know our next one, but like the DC Green Lantern.
Soon.
Emerald Knights. That's when he first popped up.
Emerald Knights. That was a good review. I remember that one. Next time, Andreas, I'll remind myself a note right now to rip a clip from one of our DC animated reviews for the intro for a show, so I can play one of our clips from our. We did some really good DC animated reviews, folks. Mr. Time Cop and myself. I even moderated some of them, although Cyber did a better job than me.
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, because our last one was.
Oh, geez. I can't remember which one the last one was. I've gone back and rewatched several of them.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, let me check, because I know our last one was something else.
The reason why our
okay, yeah, so you already sorry to interrupt, like you already view Emerald Knights. That was the last one you and Cyber did.
Oh, that was the last one?
Yeah.
We're probably going to be the next time I talk to Cyber. That we're gonna, I'm sure that we're probably going to talk about when we're going to do our next DC animated review. That'll come up in the conversation. So soon,
yeah,
I would think,
yeah,
because we're gonna have some open slots coming up soon. So we might try to stick one or two in before we go back into fully covering regular movies on a regular basis after Face Off, right? Maybe stick one or two in.
Yeah, because the next movie I think is a Justice League one or something like that. But we'll discuss that later. But anyway,
it is.
Yeah, Justice League Doom, I think, because that one is a part one.
Now these other castings. No, I don't mean to help you out and get back on track.
Yeah.
As far as the rest of the castings go, they're maybe you know more about these other actors and actresses than I do, but you've got essentially besides the main who did they bring in to play Lois? I forget her name.
Rachel Blossom. She's the actress that played from the Amazon Prime show, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. She was in a little bit of House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. She's like a really talented actress that's been popping very largely in the Hollywood with the show Maisel I'm talking about. And she's been kind of the top choice for Lois before this project of Superman Legacy became a thing, So I'm excited for her. Oh, another major casting. Let me put this up. We got our Jimmy Olsen casting as well. I know this actor. Let me put up the rarity because he's in another movie that we saw. He's in
I've got it right here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Eve, is it oh no, I don't have the name right here. I put it in the hashtags and now I can't remember it. I had an article.
I actually have it here. We have our Jimmy Olsen and our Eve Textmaster is in this movie too. If no one knows, like if you don't know what's that name, Eve Textmaster is from the original Superman films. She's like original character from the Richard Donner films. And she's been in some of the medium in the comics as well. She was in Smallville, she was in Supergirl, and so she's like Mercy Graves for Lex Luthor. She is like an assistant / like henchman.
I know she is.
So yeah, I sent you the link about the Jimmy Olsen and the Eve Textmaster. It's Skylar
Oh, I've got. Hold on, I know exactly where to get it. I know which. I'll go right to the article that I went to myself.
Yeah, so Skylar Jensen is an actor from the Righteous Gemstones, the HBO show with Danny McBride, and he was in the Paul Thomas Anderson film Liquid Pizza. So that's really good. So he's gonna play Jimmy Olsen for this film version. So that's kind of cool. This Portugal actress Sam Bay is gonna play Textmarker portraying assistant turned love interest for Lex Luthor in this version. And as I brought up, she was played by Valerie Perrin from the Crystal Reeve films. That's where we first saw this assistant from. So she was like an original character for that film series. But yeah, so that was major casting. Yeah, so far I'm liking this casting. I don't know about the superhero casting, like Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Green Lantern. I was hoping we'd just get a traditional Superman solo film, and I trust Gunn. I need to see how he's going to use those characters in this film. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, and Manifesto, the other superhero. But right now, I'm at least happy we're getting other Superman characters like Jimmy Olsen. Like DCU did dirty with Jimmy Olsen. I mean, I don't know what was Zack Snyder's idea of shooting Jimmy at the head and making him a CIA agent or whatever his job was as agent. Like it was just so like dirty from Batman v Superman. So I'm happy that we're getting Jimmy Olsen in this movie. And yeah, I was kind of surprised we're getting Tex Monster. But hey, James Gunn is very old school, so why not?
Hey, they're scheduled to release this film on July 11th, 2025. That's exactly a little bit more 1 month shy of a year and a half from now, right? So,
yes.
Technically, from a pre-production standpoint, this is when they should have these roles cast. Considering, especially when you consider how overarching they are to the overall, we don't know how many chapters there's going to be to Gods and Monsters. I considered, I thought about reaching out to you earlier and asking you if you wanted me to just go ahead and grab the whole, like a clip of the whole Gunn slate, right? Reveal from his video, because I wrote it all down. I have the whole thing.
Okay.
And you and I have never really gone over it before. Right?
We did in my channel. And
not in a long time though, is what I'm saying. That right when I first met you, we did.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been since he did since he did the slate release.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you could do it. I just personally think.
I'm not going to play anything like that. Whatnot. I'm just interested in revisiting it, whatnot, because like stuff like Creature Commandos, it interests me. I think it's really cool how Gunn wants to have a duality. I mean, they've already cast like a couple of the characters, right?
Yes,
they already have.
Creature Commandos is fully ready for next year. I don't is that and Superman Legacy are ready. Like we know the cast.
Now the series is going to be animated, isn't it? But Gunn wants it to be actors and actresses that can play the characters in live action and in animated form. Isn't that the deal?
Yes, correct. I don't know when these Creature Commandos is going to be in live action. We have to wait and see what kind of project they will pop up.
He wants it to be seamless, just like the MCU, to be able to jump from project to project and whatnot, and be able to insert these characters. He feels like they're going to be. They're starting off with this show, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah.
They want them to be dual. I believe I might be wrong, folks. I don't know that it's going to be animated, the show, but all the advertisements for it are showing animated form of them, the characters.
Yes, Creature Commandos is an animation series, so like in vein of like Harley Quinn and some of the DC animation shows. It's so Gunn is trying to do like what if. We're reviewing what if. Like I think this is where people can understand. So sort of what Marvel Studios are doing, what if, where that is like a multiverse like Twilight Zone kind of show where we're using all the MCU actors we have, right? So that we not, this is connected to the MCU, right? And that's what Gunn is trying to do with Creature Commandos. Like, here's the cast, and this is why these are the Creature Commando actors that are gonna be in live action, and then they're gonna be the ones that are playing those characters that you're gonna see in this show. So that's what he's doing, which is great. And great actors too, like Frank Grillo is going to be Rick Flag Sr. That's the father of Rick Flag from Joe Kinnaman and the Suicide Squad films. So like he's a great pick for that character, and that I could definitely see him play in the next Suicide movie. Maybe, we don't know. There's another actress from Game of Thrones. She's going to play like what the Frankenstein person, I don't know what. She's great, and she was in Mission Impossible: The Reckoning Part 1 briefly, so she's good. And then his brother, James Sean Gunn, actually, he the Weasel from the Suicide Squad, the one that couldn't
Oh my
swim.
god!
Yes,
oh my god!
He's
So
gonna
funny.
he's gonna be in this show, so he's playing again that character, which is fun. So yes, Bride of Frankenstein, yes. One of those actors is playing that. Alan Tudyk is playing Dr.
Ooh, I like Frank Grillo from
Yeah.
the MCU from Tombstone.
Yep. Crossbones in
Crossbones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great pick. I'm very excited for that. Frank Grillo is a great actor. He's very funny. Viola Davis is reprising her role as Amanda Waller in this show. So like this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then
I love that. That's awesome. So she's gonna voice her character. So that's awesome, because that adds to the whole duality deal of like that Gunn's installing, that the MCU's done with What If, right? But it wasn't planned, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is actually planned. This duality of actually having people voicing animated characters in this cinematic universe or scape, right? Or whatever you want to call this extended, new Gunn universe. And then also having them, be able to do the animated and live action seamlessly. Without the MCU, you don't get that. I don't think you don't get without What If, right? You mentioned What If.
Yeah.
Without What If, I don't think you get that. Yeah,
exactly. I think Gunn did pay attention to that. I mean, like he probably should have known that, because the Guardians were in season 1 and 2, of What If. So like he probably knew that and liked the idea probably, and say like, hey, let me do that. So
the Guardians are fun characters. It doesn't surprise me that they use them as much as they do. And What If. They're great characters.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, one thing I want to bring up, I actually remember there was a casting of another major villain in the Creature Commandos, Circe. She's a Wonder Woman villain, a major one. So, like, we'll probably potentially see that character again in the new Wonder Woman movie, or the prequel Paradise Lost show. So watch out for that. That's another
that could be a really good show. Remember this is going to be HBO Studios associated with this, folks. That's an important aspect that we haven't really. That's one thing I know we haven't talked about, Mr. Time Lord, sir. 2024. You're 2024. You're Time Lord now, sir. Time Lord, sir. 2024.
2024.
You've earned it. You put your time in, sir. So Time Lord, sir, we haven't talked about the fact that we have talked about the fact that I need to watch Peacekeeper, because before you know it, it's going to be time. Before you know it, it'll be that time, and Waller will be out, right? And it's going to interconnect. It's going to be a spinoff of Peacekeeper with some of the same characters, carrying over. So what we haven't ever talked about is the fact that, I've talked to Andreas before on the Bleeding Edge Report about the fact that we're going to cover The Last of Us season 2, which probably won't come out until 2025, right? But that we are going to do the House of the Dragon this year.
Yeah, House of the Dragon, I'll definitely do. Yeah.
Oh, how far are you into season 1? Did you finish it?
Not yet. This month I'm going to start binge watching House of the Dragon. So
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But that's HBO Studios. They make it. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Very quickly, I have the HBO Max from you. So I seen the pilot for free in YouTube. So I need to start from episode 2, and then I should be good for the summer.
Oh yeah, I remember you say that you watched the pilot. It's a really good show, folks. House of the Dragon's a great show. We really enjoyed reviewing it. I'm gonna rip a clip out of one of those reviews sometime and actually play it. But no, it's HBO Studios that made those series, and I believe that it'll be HBO Studios that will be a part of Gunn's new DCU. I think that they're bringing a lot of the same people to produce these series and these movies.
Yeah.
If they bring that kind of quality, that serious quality that HBO is known for with its writing, right? And how bold they're willing to be, right, with their projects, with their series, they've made some bold shit, man. I mean, I got to give HBO props. Deadwood, The Sopranos, right? Just go down the list. Right? Band of Brothers, right? You pick your which one you like. Rome, right? Carnival, The Wire, right?
The Wire.
Oz. They've done a lot of really good shit, man. That's all I'm saying. Westworld, right? Yeah, I mean, they kill it. I mean, I didn't watch the Watchmen series because I didn't like the fact that they strayed so far from the canon. I didn't like it, right? But I bet if I watched it, it's probably entertaining. I don't doubt it. I'll put it out there right there. I guarantee you, if I watched it, it's probably at least entertaining because that's HBO Studios that producing it. So I'm just saying, your thoughts on that, Mr. Time Lord, sir? That you got that we never really talked about the fact that we're bringing these two things together now, Gunn and that HBO Studios behind him that comes with Warner Brothers, right? And that whole deal. That's I mean that when you mention series like the Paradise Lost series, that's what I think about is what they might do in the Lantern series, what they might do with those properties, right? It could be really good.
Yeah. Well, and then speaking of the Lantern series, like we know now we're getting a Green Lantern Superman. Like Nate Phelan's going to be in that show, because Guy Gardner is a Green Lantern, and he has interacted with Hal and John Stewart in many times in the comics and shows like Young Justice. So so we're already setting up the shared universe for this new universe, which is good.
No, you already mentioned that the Authority is going to be a film.
Yes,
that's the one we're gonna have the Engineer crossover.
Yeah, so I think the Authority is going to be the next movie after Superman Legacy. Like that feels like that's going to be top. So, like the fact that we got the Engineer, I'll be not surprised if we get another casting of something from the Authority in the Superman Legacy casting. So, like
the Engineer's an interesting character.
So, I know, like I haven't read the Authority comics, so like I just know the two like the gay couples that are Batman and Superman. You need to tell me more about this Authority like comics. Because I'm not.
All I know is a little bit of basic information, right? That New Rock Stars, Eric Voss gave out, right? I watched as research for the show. I watched their breakdown of the James Gunn Saffron Slate video he did. He did it like a Feige Comic-Con announcement type deal.
Yeah.
Which we covered, of course. And I actually think we had actually a pretty big name reactor on the panel that night. Actually, I mentioned his name before to you, Andreas, the guy that got me into Bandmade, was on that night. The reactor that got me into Bandmade.
Oh yeah. I forget his name. Was it?
He likes DCU.
Okay. Yeah.
What you think his name was?
No. I was thinking it was Matt, but I don't think it was Matt from Born to
No, I can't. For some reason, I just can't remember his name tonight. My memory's been a little bit spotty. But after the Authority is when we get the Paradise Lost series, and then after that we get the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, I mean, that's been
the film. Oof, that's gonna be big.
Well, I mean, of course, because it's Batman. We'll play on the release date. Yeah, 30, and then the next movie. It seems like Brave and the Bold, which we got a director there, Annie Muschietti, who did the Flash movie. Yep. Again, me and Jeff, I was very surprised that I liked the film. I 100% trust Andy Muschietti. I think he is a good director. I think he could do a good Batman movie. Just don't do the things that a non-Batman movie has done really bad, like Batman Robin. So,
especially with that movie.
yeah, and I'm happy we're getting a Robin, and like doing Damian Wayne, which is good. So, I just hope it is as good as the Batman.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure for Gunn on that one. That's all. That's Superman's a lot easier. Superman's easier. Those are easier castings. Batman's harder to cast.
Yeah. So,
that's a big move right there. Like whoever that'll be somebody I know. Like I'll know whoever he casts to play Batman. And that'll be and it'll be by the time when he casts the Batman for the Brave and the Bold, that will be by the time he does it. That would be by that time the what's it called, the Pattinson Batman film will probably be out.
Yeah,
his second film.
It seems like the Brave will be out after Part 2. So just a reminder, Part 2 is coming out in 2025 as well in October. So like Brave and the Bold will be right after it, either 2027.
There's going to be some conflation there. There's going to be some closeness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's why. No, you're right. That's why it's good they're bringing Robin in.
Yeah,
I think that's why. I think that's why they went with. I think that's why they went with the Brave and the Bold, because they knew that they were still going to be one. They wanted that Warner Brothers wanted to make one more Pattinson film.
Yeah,
and you were right about the series. There's two series. There's two Warner Brothers DC series coming out in Max. There's the one we talked about with Penguin.
Yes.
And then there's also the one that's just based on like the underbelly of Gotham.
Yeah, that's the Arkham one that was announced.
Arkham. Yep.
Yeah. Apparently that's going to be connected to the Brave and the Bold. So just confirm it. So the Penguin is in the Matt Reeves universe. So we're getting this year. This
is where things get a little bit sloppy. This is where things get choppy.
Yeah, exactly. So like you got this coming out, and then you got this Arkhamverse show that's going to be in this new kind of DC film with a new Batman. So so we're getting that. That's been confirmed, but that's all we'd say. Another update is actually the Supergirl movie. It's actually good you going through this because I actually remember there was a new update.
That comes after Booster Gold. The series comes out. Booster Gold, right? And then right after that, we get Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Yes.
The film. Before Swamp Thing.
Yeah, before Swamp Thing. Yeah. So Supergirl has a screenwriter named Anna Degar. She's like an actress / writer. She was part of the Vampire Diaries. She did like Hampton. Yeah, so she's both like a writer and like an actress.
Oh, I think I know who she is. There you go, folks. Let's do it. Right? So there you go, folks. That's the new screenwriter that's going to be coming in for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
I have a request. Redo that clip again. That was so funny. Please do it again. I'm sorry, folks.
Let's do it. Like the timing of me cut that off when I edited that. It's good, right?
Oh my god!
I kept that. Let's do it in there. That's timing, baby. You gotta like, and it's time. That's clip material right there. How I dropped that on you when you're like, so they named the screenwriter for the shit or whatever, Supergirl. And I threw that out there.
Folks, I'm sorry, but it was very funny. I mean, you got me with the part where she's like apparently a reincarnation of Pocahontas.
They share souls or whatever.
Yeah, so and wait, and you heard like she hurt someone, right? And like,
did you see her like waving her arms and shit? Or whatever?
dancing like it's like
what
a
the fuck? They were like, and they have it all filmed, all slow motion and shit, whatnot for an effect and all that shit. I love it.
Oh my god, yeah. And then she's calling Dr. Phil and presumably the mom, right? they're both lunatics. I'm like,
Do you know how many different like crackhead women have come on Dr. Phil and accused Dr. Phil and the other people as being delusional or whatever?
Yes,
Whatnot.
yeah,
The word
yeah.
delusional comes up a lot on Dr.
Yeah.
Phil, folks. Just to be clear, if you can't handle being called delusional, you should not go on Dr. Phil.
yeah, I think you're being in trouble. Wait.
I think I'm gonna keep playing those clips from the beginnings, the openings of Dr. Phil shows, and
Oh my
start
God.
incorporating them. Yeah, start dropping them in.
Oh god, Dr. Phil is so funny. Oh god, yeah, I don't know, like he's also funny in movies like Scary Movie 4. He's so funny with Shaq, and like
Shaq's funny as shit, man.
yeah. Oh my god, Shaq is funny. Dude.
Shaq and Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and what's his name from TNT are fucking hilarious. Like, I don't watch the NBA anymore, whatnot. I like the old school NBA, but I fuck with them guys on TNT. They're entertaining. Kind of like these motherfuckers.
But
I'm currently working on scripts for our only fans, Jay.
yeah, because Shin reminds me so much of a character that was from the Darth Bane trilogy. I think they maybe kind of borrowed a little bit there. She even looks like her, so. I thought you said you were going to be serious to this.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah,
likes
Andres,
you.
I wanted to.
I love you bring that episode because I love that. Was it Jay? Jay responded
Jay.
like, You say you're gonna take this episode serious, and I now remember that's why I get that line from him. It's like, oh yeah, I thought we were gonna be serious. Oh my god,
That White Vision's penis thing has been an underlying joke for a while. Remember, I told you we had jokes that spanned
Yeah.
across episodes of the show when we first started. Well, there you go.
yeah.
I kept that shit around.
Yeah, I forgot that you brought that up in the Soke show, not even a Marvel property. That's so funny. Oh, good times. No, 2024. We're in 2024, folks.
Hey,
Oh,
those were good times to doing Ahsoka, man. It was some of those episodes were tough times for me, right? But like I came out the other side.
Yeah.
Right? That's the most important thing, right? Is I came out the other side from it, right? Like I'm still here, right? You know, I'm not like, so like there you go. It's 2024. 1/1/24, baby. We're about to review X-Men animated series for the first time, episodes 1 and 2. It's gonna be dope as shit. Can't wait. I'm excited as shit. I even got some seeds from the episodes to play and whatnot during that. We'll have to see how YouTube treats us on that right off the bat. If we get hit with copyrights or not, whatnot.
Yeah. I mean,
There's not that much out there anyway. There's not that much DC animated footage from the shows on YouTube, from the episodes, just to put it out there. There wasn't much to find, really. Anyway, so it's not going to be something we're going to be able to do from episode to episode. You can't find stuff sometimes for each episode. I already tried and looked. But to wrap up this DCU thing, going back to Supergirl, now you're a big fan of the character Supergirl.
Yes. So, so I'm very excited we got a writer, so that's good. I hope we get a director. I don't know who. Be exciting. But yeah, so right now this movie is shaping up to be really great. Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of Supergirl, I think we're gonna get Supergirl very soon, the casting, because while the Christmas time around December and November, I heard they're searching for a Supergirl, and this confirms that the actress that plays Supergirl in the Flash is not coming back. Very sad, but it was kind of expected that they were not gonna bring her back. And so I'm very curious who's gonna be Supergirl. So we'll probably get that very soon, maybe this year. But we'll see. So I'm very excited for the Supergirl woman tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be a good film. And then next thing, Swamp Thing. Nothing much has happened with Swamp Thing besides James Mangold's probably gonna do it. So yeah, that's it. So.
No, I mean that is basically it, and I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about this. It's good. It's good to have the DC comics and the DCU stuff and whatnot back in the conversation.
Yeah, Yeah. It's good that you brought it up because I remember it's like, oh yeah, we did have some updates with some of the films, like particularly Supergirl, like that was got a major one, and then and Authority got like a major one with the engineering and all that. So yeah, so it's taking shape. This year we're only having one DC film. That's the Joker 2. Besides animation, films, uh, besides the animated films, the video games, and what else that's coming out? Oh, and TV shows, like Super Lois. We're gonna have a light year for DC, so which is great because last year it was maybe, I mean,
it's going to be a very light year. You're right. When do they have they said anything about when Peacemaker season 2 might come out?
It has to be right after Superman Lexi. Just remember, James Gunn did that show. It has to be either after Superman Legacy or after Waller. So we'll see.
Well, that's one thing I can say that I think it's good that they brought Gunn in when they did, because like Gunn was able to come in, and Safran being able to acknowledge how things were going to be a little bit messy at first with the leftover parts that are left over from the Snyderverse, right? Type stuff, like all, what I mean, like what's left over from that. I still have not reviewed Snyder Cut. I want to. It'd be a really good reason for me to review it. Maybe that's something we should do over on your channel at some point. Is just do the Snyder Cut over there. I'm just putting it out there. I'm thinking about why this is coming to me and whatnot. I want to vocalize it to you, so that my opinions on it, and whatnot. Because we folks, we collaborate together and whatnot, and I come over on Sundays and whatnot and guest over on Andre's the Pop Culture Guy Presents. So
so actually it's good you brought that up, Jeff, because I think I will do it. Because I want to do is like a post-modern for the DCU. Like I want to talk about the DCU, but also ranking our favorite DCU films to honor, the closing of this chapter of the DC
before
film.
Gods and Monsters starts.
Yeah, and the fact that you saw Aquaman 2. By the way, I'm going to see Aquaman 2. Me and Chris want to kind of schedule it with another friend. She's very busy and he's busy, and it's like, we'll get to seeing Aquaman 2. So
I know nothing I say about it is going to make it. Is if anything, it probably it's just like if you say something to me about the movie, or Cyrus did something, you'll take it in there, you'll take it into consideration, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to affect or dissuade you from watching it because it's it's Aquaman 2.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, folks, I haven't seen the other DC films. Like I didn't see Blue Beetle or Shazam 2 in theater. So like it's not a big
Blue Beetle was better than Shazam 2. Shazam 2 was
Ooh. Oh, that's a
rough.
shame. Oh boy. Yeah.
But then again, you know what? Maybe there was probably an audience for that film. It just wasn't me.
Yeah, I mean, the Shazam films were very like family kind of films, It's fine, it's fine. But yeah, so like, no worries. We'll discuss that later. Ranking our DCU favorite films. But before we go into X-Men, I have a question. What's your top 3 favorite DCU films? I'm kind of curious.
God, on the spot.
You want me to do it first before you?
No, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so to honor this bizarre shared universe that is called the DCU, my top 3 is number 1, Wonder Woman. Number 2, Shazam, the first film, great film, and then number 3 has to be The Suicide Squad from James Gunn. I think those 3 films.
See, that's why it's so tough, because you're throwing I forgot about Wonder Woman there for a minute. I forgot about Suicide Squad. Can we make it 5 instead of 3? How about 5?
Okay, 5. All right. So let me continue on with that for you, buddy. Number 4, I'm put the first Aquaman movie. I like Jason Momoa. I think this first film was fun. It's great. It was bombastic.
It was.
I love that movie. It's really fun. I really enjoyed that film. Number 5, Man of Steel. I have some problems with Man of Steel, but I love Man of Steel. It's a great film. It's better than Superman Returns. Love General Zod. He's a great villain. He's still the best villain for the DCEU. So that's my top 5.
Yeah,
DCU
he
films.
is. If we would have got another Snyder film or something after Snyder cut that would have actually really did Dark Side, like he did, like he looked at those Snyder cut trailers.
Yeah,
If we would have saw that with that actor, that voice actor,
yeah,
voicing him, oh man, now that would have been, he would have gave General Zod a run.
yeah,
But
yeah.
sticking to live action, take animated out. I'll go with the Batman, the Dark Knight Returns, or whatever it's called, the third film of the Batman trilogy.
Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises. At number 1.
Okay.
2, Snyder Cut. 3, Gun Suicide Squad. 4, Batman 2, Michael Keaton.
Okay, Returns. Okay.
Yeah. 5, Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So you cleaned the other DC films. Yeah. Mine will be kind of different. What you heard, folks, was my DCU films. From
Strictly from the DCU set. Okay, take out Batman 2.
Yeah.
Take out Batman 2 and substitute it with just move up my rankings up, and then add in probably it's tough.
Yeah.
Probably Aquaman, a tie between Aquaman and the Superman film.
Yeah, Man of Steel. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. One day we'll discuss our overall favorite DC films.
We haven't done any. We didn't do any ranking shows for 2023 for the first year. I can't believe we didn't do it. The MCU's Bleeding Edge didn't do any ranking shows. We didn't rank any of the stuff that came out. Any of the Marvel stuff that came out. Usually we rank everything, and through my own crap and whatnot that I've been dealing with personally, I forgot all about it.
Yeah, and also there was just so many superhero films last year. There was four DC films, and then you got 3 MCU films, but technically we got 4 Marvel movies, including Spider-Verse, right? And then
Spider-Verse was good. I got the DVD.
Oh yeah, I got mine. I got 2 discs of the first and
me too. I got the first one and the second one. Me too, because I never saw the first one. Remember?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh god, you're gonna love the first Spider-Verse.
I know I will.
Great. Yeah, it's really great.
When I saw the second one, it took me a minute to get to relax into it, whatnot, in the theater. But once I got into it, I was like, "Oh shit, this is really good."
Yeah. So let's be honest. Last year, just to wrap up things before we get into X-Men, 2023, I think was a very lackluster superhero content. I mean, besides Guardians 3 and Spider-Verse, those 2 were the best in terms of 2023 superhero films. All the bunch that Jeff saw were pretty okay and just didn't live up expectations. The Flash was good. We didn't hate it, but it wasn't the film that I think it should have been.
It was pretty. I enjoyed it. It was definitely entertaining. I liked that Supergirl that they had in the movie. She was good.
Yeah, I love that Supergirl. I mean, Michael Keaton was great as Batman. I love that. That was my favorite part about the Flash. Yeah, I mean, come on, Ant-Man 3 was it was Kang was the best part about Ant-Man 3, but the rest was kind of you take it or leave it. And then the Marvels, again, I thought it was better than the first Captain Marvel, but it has the problems that you saw with Secret Invasion and Ant-Man 3, what's been going on with Marvel Studios. As me and Jeff have been discussing in the Monday report, with the Jonathan Majors situation and the special effects and the COVID and the strikes that happened last year, during the summer. It was just too much for the Marvel Studios, and they just became overwhelmed. But they got less stuff to do this year besides What If and the X-Men 97, which we're going to review the original X-Men series to lead up to that for this year, which is great. And what else? They have Echo, right, coming this month, soon, which is great. Next week,
9 days.
9 days, right. So we got that.
I'm
and
excited
then-
about that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. So like we're, at least we're starting fresh, and I think Marvel Studios are gonna take their time to fix up, the multiverse saga, all that. But yeah,
I do too, and I think that I think if the Echo trailers are any evidence of what the series is going to be like, then probably the Echo series is actually going to end up adding to the quality, bringing the quality back, right, to the MCU. It looks like it's going to, which is good because, like, honestly, I was really hoping they would give that actress another opportunity to play that character. So I was taken aback a little bit by, like everybody was, I think, that they actually so quickly gave her a show, right, coming off Hawkeye. I thought she took away a little bit from Hawkeye, not helped the show, kind of, right, a little bit myself. I won't lie, just because I didn't think that she maybe it was the way it was written, the character was written or something like that, or not written, but you understand what I'm saying, how they told her, to play the character, because it is a mute character, a deaf character. I just felt like Yelena Belova kind of outshined her big time.
Yeah. No. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I like Echo. I thought she was a great addition to Hawkeye. Like the thing that helped it was the Kingpin stuff. Like, I think her relationship to Kingpin was very intriguing, and so I'm very excited for this show to expand upon that relationship. But I do agree. After we got introduced to Alea in, was it episode 4, right? That then the conversation kind of turned to like, it was more about Alea now, and it's tough, there was so much going on with Hawkeye, and it's like, what else can you do?
No, but you're right. They made that connection with Kingpin in the series with her. That is important, because that establishes the series, right? You don't get the series really without that connection, probably, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't work out without that. So I guess you kind of had to have that then. So that was kind of a strategic move almost to put her in there like that you had to, kind of, in a way. It was actually a smart move. Yeah,
exactly. And guess what? The fact that we're getting Echo is going to pay off, this thing from Hawkeye. So
that's true. That's true. You know what? That's actually it will actually it'll make Hawkeye look better.
Exactly, because that's been an issue with lately with the Marvel projects. Is they've been cheesing us with these these storylines or whatnot you want to call it, and they haven't paid that off. That's why I'm excited for Echo, because they're actually paying off this from Hawkeye, which is great. And also we're getting Daredevil too, and like Daredevil Born Again will also pay off Echo as well, which is good. So we're getting back to what the MCU is becoming, which is good.
I never thought about that until now.
Yeah, exactly. So this is so it's like I think it's actually great to see that the grounded Marvel like street level stuff is actually are paying off. Like right now it's just like the cosmic stuff is not paying off as I think Marvel wants it to be, and the multiverse stuff. So, but we'll see. But yeah, so I'm excited for Echo. And then what else that's coming out this year?
We don't have release dates for all of it. We have that Spider-Man animated show.
Oh yes,
right?
Yes. Freshman year. That's coming out. We're getting Zombies. Yes, Zombies.
Marvel Zombies, right?
That's
I'm looking
cool.
forward to that. That sounds exciting. That's animated too.
Yeah, that's good.
Madam Web is coming out from Sony, right? Craven. Craven seems like it might be good.
Okay, I will give it that. I mean, at least it's right.
Gladiators in that motherfucker.
That's true. Russell Crowe. Yeah. What else? Venom 3. I don't want to miss that.
Oh, that's
Venom
right.
3
The first Venom film. Yep.
Venom 3 is coming
out.
The last film.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or what's his name?
Tom Harley. Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy, yeah. He said he was
Yeah.
done playing Venom after this film, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, we got those. I'm like we're still getting some Marvel stuff, but but we're not getting MCU films. Deadpool 3 is really the only thing from Marvel Studios, which I'm excited for.
Me too. It might be big. We're gonna have to do some preview shows. We're due to actually cover that on the Bleeding Edge report. We haven't talked. We need to talk about all the casting news and whatnot. Maybe the next episode. Maybe next show.
Yes.
We'll talk about Deadpool 3 and all the stuff that's come out in the last couple of months and whatnot in terms of all the different characters they're bringing back from Fox X-Men.
Yeah.
All that, right? How they're gonna have the TVA in there too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. If the TVA is gonna be in it, like there's a lot of things they can do with that. Yeah, because recently I find out they actually brought a villain from the first X-Men movie, and I'm like so freaking out. And we'll discuss that if we want to do more of that next Monday. Which is great.
Well, we've talked about it before that they've heavily rumored what's his name from the TVA was going to be in the film.
Is it Morbius?
Morbius,
right?
the Morbius actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Wilson.
Wilson. Yep.
Yeah. By the way, folks, it's just a rumor. It hasn't been listed yet, but hopefully it's true because I do want that in Deadpool 3. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Oh my god, Deadpool 3 would be a big one. For
It will be.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a Captain America Civil War-esque.
Yeah,
like
and No Way Home.
That.
And No Way Home, but for the Fox movies, for the Fox X-Men movies, which is gonna be great. Yeah, so I'm very excited for Deadpool 3. That's it's tough for me because I'm a Batman fan and I'm excited for the Joker 2. Like that is like literally my number 2. Like anticipate a 2024 film after Joker 2. But yeah, Jeff, ready to do X-Men? The Night of Sentinels Part 1?
I am, sir.
All right, let's do this.
All right, folks. Let me go ahead and play the X-Men. Let me play the X-Men intro again and whatnot, everything to get us all like excited and prepped and whatnot. Everything.
Yeah,
or you know what?
up.
I'll play our episode 1 scenes that I have.
Okay.
It's like an introduction.
Not be alarmed. I am here to serve and protect.
I'll take these.
You must like to play cards.
I like solitaire, okay? Unless I got someone to play with.
Hey! You dweeb, watch it! I hope you're just a little security.
Target identified. Initiate capture.
Target? Capture? Must be a sale. Help! Put me down! Please!
Storm, mistress of the elements, commands you to release that child.
Lighten up on the speeches, sugar. Hey, lady! Keep talking to him some more!
Unidentified mutants. Ignore.
You're flying.
Mutant, stop.
Did you see what she did?
Yes, Rogue has a way with.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now that Fox X-Men Rogue would never be able to do some shit like that. She was such a wimp.
Yeah. Oh, Jubilee. Oh god, she's something.
I can't wait till they give us a live action Jubilee.
Oh yeah, with the like just like with the little jacket and then the glasses she usually wears. Oh,
yeah, the yellow jacket or gold jacket, or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, with the glasses.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, dope. You know what's funny? You can see her briefly, just Easter eggs, just very funny Easter eggs. You do see her in the first X-Men film back in 2000. She's briefly next to Kitty Pryde when we get to that montage where Professor X explains what's
okay,
in the
yeah.
first movie.
I thought at some point one of the films that they tried to show her or whatever, whatnot. You know, I thought that's what I thought was that there was like an appearance by her or whatever in some kind. Did they ever show? Does Kitty Pryde ever pop up in the X-Men animated series? I never saw her. I only watched the first 2 seasons.
No, I don't think she wasn't in this show at all. You see
That's
her.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's really sad. But
she's almost like what do you call it? Look, similar to similar to as a character, as sort of being left out. As I'm trying to think of the character. Oh God.
She
the Wasp, like from Quantumania, how she didn't really do much. They didn't really give her a lot of screen time, right?
Yeah,
After she killed it in the Ant-Man 2.
Yeah,
Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah.
She she reminds me of her, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot, right? Like kind of because Kitty Pryde's a big part of the X-Men. During a chunk of the X-Men's history, like she's a big part of the team. She's actually either like a side character or like a main member of the X-Men.
Yeah. So I don't know. So like, just give you some history, folks. So Kitty Pryde is actually more like Jubilee in the comic books. She's like the first teenager like character in this new roster, and she's like similar to Jubilee in the show. When me and Jeff are going to review the whole series, that's what Jubilee is. That she's like Kitty Pryde from the comic books, and like particularly, you know, Kitty Pryde is very major in like the storyline, the Days of Future Past, which, you know, it's kind of sad that we didn't get her for the show, but we get that in the movie, the live action movie, X-Men Days of Future Past. It was very ashamed. Like Kitty Pryde is more like Jubilee in the comic books, and like she was like the eyes of, like she was like the point of view for the audience to see this world of the X-Men, and she has a really good friendship to Wolverine, kind of like how Jubilee is gonna do in this series. It's just it's just like what was going on during the time of the X-Men. You know, remember, this is the Jim Lee, like Chris Claremont run of the X-Men, where is, Jubilee was there. She was like the new character to create, and so like they just chose her to be just like, in the role of Kitty Pryde for the show. So that's why we didn't get Kitty Pryde. But Kitty Pryde comes later in the other X-Men like animation shows, like X-Men Revolution, my personal favorite X-Men show, and Wolverine and the X-Men. She's there. So like we'll get Kitty Pryde in the other animation shows. It's just this one, she's not in this show, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I didn't think she was. Because I have the character list from the whole series. I thought about that. I have it already. I got it from ChatGPT, and she's not on the character list, right?
Yeah.
Of characters that's mentioned in the series.
No.
It's unfortunate, but it's again, they can only do what they could do. I never got to see the Cable either, because Cable comes in season 3, I think. So I never saw Cable.
Yeah, Cable comes actually in season 2.
Is it in season 2?
Yeah, in another, like, he comes back because of something involving Apocalypse, and so like him and Bishop get like each other very quickly. So it's a good 2-parter when we get to season 2.
All right, folks, I'm going to play a clip real quick of whatnot and everything, just so I can take a little smoke break. Hold on.
But like today it was a bit strange because no one really replied. I just said, okay, we'll do it next week. But yeah, like it wasn't clear, but there'll be something.
Cool. Yeah. Don't tell anybody, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Biggest crackhead in the town.
Peanut butter and crackhead.
He kicked his habit back in the joint. Now he's out on coins.
Here I come.
He's finally home. He's Tyrone.
Is that from the Chappelle Show?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen like bits and pieces, like an episode here and there.
Hell yeah,
it was
dude.
pretty funny. Like where like there was like one episode where like KFC and some like Amphibu merged or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
Or,
show.
like the one where like what if black people got all the money or whatever, like you know what I mean, like what they did with it was like buy Newports and shit, and like you know like and like malt liquor.
Yeah. Like, so not okay for today's one, but like, yeah, that's awesome shit.
Hello?
Hey, can we talk for a sec?
Yeah, I guess. What's up?
I know we've been through our ups and downs, but I still really have feelings for you.
You're joking.
You know, like,
What am I just supposed to overlook the fact that you fucked my dad? Fuck you.
You're not.
Oh man,
holy crap!
I don't know what happened there. That was like technical difficulties or something, man. You know, like somebody hacked me or whatever, or I don't know.
Jesus
but
Christ, though. Holy crap! I overlooked it.
Those Australians, man, they're something else.
Yes.
That's Biz. You can't miss that accent. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. The clip, was the boyfriend say that she, fucked her dad. I missed that part the first time you showed this clip in the show, and I was like, no way did he actually say that you fucked my dad, and I was like, oh, no way, and now it's confirmed. I was like, oh wow. It's like what is that lady doing? Telling like to forgive her.
What did I do with that clip? Why did I keep that shit? What the hell is wrong with me, man? Where did I do all these clips? I have all these fucking awesome clips. And I just lost them. What the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, all right. So episode 1, right, of the X-Men animated series, is Night of the Sentinels, and it starts off with a scene where we see Sabretooth.
Yes.
Like on a rampage, right? And that segues into Jubilee with her foster parents.
Yes.
And they do a lot of interlacing with the TV, the news, almost like similar to DC animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How they'll play the news, right, on the TV and whatnot, like during the scenes and whatnot, right? Like similar to that. They do that in the X-Men animated too. There's multiple times across the span of the 2 episodes that we're going to cover where you see the from the news, you hear, it becomes a part of the show. But right off the bat, they're trying to kind of introduce the theme of the fear for mutants by human beings. Like that's the whole point of this first episode, right? That's why the Sentinels are brought in. Right? Why it's called Night of the Sentinels, why they had them in there is because this first episode is meant to encompass the whole axiom of the X-Men, which is the fact that mutants are hated by human beings, right? Like despised by certain people, especially people in the government.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, Jubilee, right? Basically, it's almost because it's animated, it comes off a little cartoonish, but what we see happen to her is basically her mutant X gene has activated.
Yeah.
And so she's can't control her powers, and she's blowing up video game machines at the arcade and shit like that, right? So, what did you think before we get into the Sentinels at the mall and whatnot and all that, right? And we actually get our first X-Men, Time Lord Sir.
Yeah.
What did you think of that whole opening? What do you think of the X-Men intro, man? It's fucking dope, isn't it? With the theme song and the music and everything.
Oh my god. Okay, look. First off, it's the theme for the X-Men, okay? Just like the Daily Elfman Batman theme for Batman. And you hear that again in the Batman animation series, that this is the X-Men theme. Come on. When we saw Doctor Strange 2, when Charles Xavier rolls in and you hear the X-Men theme from this show, come on, you were geeking out. Just like I was. And same thing with Miss Marvel when they did that theme again for Kamala to confirm that she's a mutant. Like, oh my god, this intro is my favorite. Like, I actually listen to this intro music all the time. It's just so classic. It's one of the best like superhero themes from a cartoon. Like, come on, it's it's like top 3 or top 2 after like Batman series. I just love it. So excited when we get the X-Men movie. They're going to use this for their theme. So that's awesome. So yeah.
Well, not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. When 97 comes out, they'll have it. Yeah, but they'll be
Oh,
all
yeah,
cleaned
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, 97. Yeah. No, I'm saying, I'm sorry. The live action films, like
The live action films. I know.
Yeah.
I'm ready for. I'm ready to be excited. I'm ready excited for them too. They've been talking. There's been a lot of talk about it. A lot of chatter.
Yeah, a lot of chatter, which is good.
A lot of the major stuff is carrying over into, like, you know, you hear a lot of all mutants talk all of a sudden now, right?
Yes, I know. Oh, I'm like so excited. I mean, like, I don't care anymore. I just want my mutants in my MCU films now. It's like it's been over what, like 3 years since the last Fox movie from New Mutants from 2020. So like it was been a while, like from 2020, like 3 years or 4 years since then, to have like a related X-Men film or something like that. So I'm just very excited to see that, and of course Fantastic Four. You know, Fantastic Four is very important for Marvel, so very excited for that. But yeah, so the intro is like the lit. It's awesome. I never skip to that. Like, I always watch that first. Just really in the music there. But getting to the opening of the Jubilee, like, I agree with you, Jeff. Like, this opening does a good job of introducing you to the world of the X-Men. Like, what is it about it that's special, and like why it's so relatable over so many of these years? Since Jack Kirby and Stan Lee from the '60s. It's because it's the prejudice, and how the mutants are different from the humans, and like this episode does that so well with the Sentinels. The main villain.
What is his name? It's Gyrich, right?
Yeah, it's Gyrich. Another Easter egg. You do get this character from the first X-Men movie. He plays like an assistant with Senator Robert Kelly, which we also get a mention in this episode. So which is really cool. If you don't know your X-Men lore, those two characters are major in the X-Men comic books.
They are. They're key.
Yeah.
That and Trask, who we'll see later on too.
Yes, and Tracks as well, which that was really cool. Yeah, it gives you right there, because we don't get a mutant villain, because we're gonna get that in next episode with Magneto. Because our next episode review is gonna be Magneto, which is great. Yeah, and Sabretooth as well. Sabretooth and Magneto is gonna be in the next episode. But yeah, so like right away they gave you this like sense of, oh wow, like this superpower, is like it's dangerous. Like people are like persecuting them, and like it feels real. Like kind of like what's going on back then. With the LA riots and all that. Like it feels very home to what's been going on.
That's true. Yeah. That the timing of that is pretty close.
Yeah, so like with Sabretooth, like it's literally like that. So I like the way they do it here, and Jubilee, you get this, like, you get this a lot. You don't know what to do with this juvenile with this kind of special ability, and so I understand why the dad registered her to the mutant mutant NGC, or what do you call it?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what the hell the damn name was for that either. The mutant something agency. Yeah. You pull that up. I couldn't find that out.
Yeah. The mutant agency fairs or something like that. Let me check again, because it was very pronounced. Here goes. The mutant, okay, they were describing the good rain, the mutant restoration program. That's what you call it, and which is a common thing in the X-Men films and in the comics as well. The mutant restoration act.
It carries over into the Sentinel program.
Exactly, which is the thing from the comics as well. The Sentinel program, which, by the way, the Sentinels is a very early thing from the Stanley Jack Kirby, which is crazy. When I had the comics from that. But yeah, so you get that. First off, like, you got the Sentinels, which is great, because they play a major part in the X-Men, particularly the Days of Future Past. If you haven't seen the live action film, that's like how it is. These things are like mutant trackers. They there to like obtain the mutants and prison them or whatnot. Like basically like a police patrol kind of thing.
Experiment on them, torture on. I mean, they don't show this in the animation, but like, that's what would happen in reality, right? They cut them up.
Exactly.
It's some Weapon X type shit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like Weapon X. Yeah, there's a lot of programs. Like that's the thing. There's like other mutant experiments besides Weapon X, which we'll get into in the X-Men series. So like this whole point is really awesome. You see that, you know, and you get Jubilee here. We get our first like X-Men mutant going to be joined soon. She's a, you know, I mean, look, it's the 90s. What else can I do with this character? I do find her annoying, but at the same time, she has her charm. I do like. I like.
She's Jubilee, man. She's annoying in the comics too. I mean, she looks a little better, but that's about it. The only difference.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I never read a Jubilee comic before. I just know the other characters, and this one is like I just know her from the cartoon show. But look. I say before, she's your point of view, your eyes to this universe, and that's her purpose for this episodes. And we get better development with her over the series, which is good. She becomes less annoying later in the series, which is good. So
yeah, that's true. And from off that, we really that's when we really see the Sentinels.
Yeah,
because like literally, you know, that's when Jubilee's at the mall. And she's attacked by the Sentinels, like we saw in the clip that I played, right?
Yeah.
And it just so happens that Rogue and Storm and Gambit, who it's so awesome that Gambit's in the show.
Yes,
I love it.
Oh my god, let's talk about this. One of the crimes in the
I know
X-Men,
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
Know, yeah, like this is you can tell I'm an X-Men fan. Gambit is my favorite X-Men character, and it annoys me that the live action movies. Like we got him in Origins Wolverine, and that's it. And they didn't do nothing with him, you know. Like, and I know you people will tell me that you know what about the JNTM Gambit film, which it never got passed because of the Disney deal happened. So I'm just hoping we get Gambit in the MCU very soon.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that I gotta believe Feige will do that. He'll cast a Gambit.
Yeah, I because
it might take a while. It might take a while, but
yeah, I'm like
I don't see a place for him in the original team that they're going to put when they try to put together. However, they're going to put the team together.
Yeah,
I don't see him being one of the original characters. But then again, I don't think it'll take them long to start to introduce the reserve characters.
Yeah,
right. They'll come along, I think, probably pretty quick after they go ahead and bring the team together.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough. Like
similar to how they did the Avengers.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. For me, I think they're gonna do is like they mix up the popular characters that people like about the X-Men. I just have a feeling they would just want to use the lineup of the X-Men show that we're watching because it's like that's the one that people know of. You know, so I can see like Beast,
yeah, that's true.
You know, like because you know we get like I know the Beast, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, and past maybe Rogue. That's maybe your team. You'll probably get.
So I'm not saying that I'm against or for either in one direction. I'm just saying that it's been heavily rumored, as you know, for a long time now that the plan has been with the MCU for them to start with something close to the original team, with Angel, Iceman, right, Jean Grey, you know, Beast, and Cyclops, right?
Yeah,
and then go from there.
Yeah, which that's fine. I think that's totally fine. That by the way, folks, that's the first class. That's the first class with this team. With the X-Men animated series, they're called the Uncanny X-Men because we got Wolverine, and Storm, and
and we got Wolverine and we got Storm in the comics. We got Wolverine and we got Storm and Colossus
and
all at the same time.
Yeah,
and Nightcrawler all at the same time. I watched the documentary before on Amazon. The Chris Claremont documentary, where they talk about where they go into like the before Chris Claremont X-Men comics, right, and then after, right, like so I like I've done research and whatnot, so I know and I've read some of the books. I know when the characters came. Cable, they did him in what, the 80s?
Right, I think so.
Yeah,
let me check that because
he was big in the early 90s when he did X-Force and everything and whatnot. That was big.
Yeah.
I loved X-Force.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd really do that team, that X-Force team in the MCU. I really was. They're saying they might still do it.
Yeah, I can see that they could do that. Especially we got this.
I love that. I love Shatterstar, man, with the double-edged swords and shit. The double-bladed swords, right? From what's his name? From that one world with Mojo, the Mojo world.
Yeah, the Mojo world. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's where he came from. He was a fighter from there.
Yeah. What's his name? Star.
The X-Men universe is so interesting, man.
I know.
Like, you got the Xavier's relationship with the alien, that one alien race, right?
The Shi'ar, the
Shi'ar, right? Yeah, the Shi'ar Empire, right? He even lived with them there for a long time, right? He was gone.
Yeah, that was during the 80s. It was right after Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, I read some of those comics.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, they have some interesting like parts of their extended universe. That is, the different side characters and stuff like that, whatnot, that come from decades and decades and decades of have the same comic line, right?
Yeah.
But no. So back to episode 1, we get the Sentinels, right? And these episodes are pretty short. They are like 21 minutes long, I think.
Yeah, I think they're 20 minutes long. I have my Disney Plus here.
It cuts off where it used to where the commercials used to be. It still cuts off on Disney Plus. That's how old school it is. There's cutoffs. There's it blacks out and then it blacks back on, where the commercials used to be pre-programmed into the actual. They were a part of like the filming, right? Like, so they brought that version over. They carried that over, like that raw. That's how old the animated is. That they couldn't even transfer it into a way where there was no way to get rid of that part and make it seamless.
I know that's crazy, but because
it's built to be made that way, right?
Yeah. It's so funny to see that, but it has its charm. It has its charm. It's great to see Gambit there. Storm and Rogue. I mean, those two are like top tier X-Men characters that I love.
I know. I love how they show Gambit as a player too from Jump. His first scene, he's trying to get some tail, right?
Yeah.
And the voice actor does a pretty good job with his Cajun accent, whatnot, everything, right? It's okay.
It's not that bad.
I mean, I live in Louisiana, so it's not exactly like if you have somebody from over there heard it, they'd be like but it's okay. But it's a great introduction scene. We see Storm and we see Rogue and Gambit take on the Sentinel, right? This one Sentinel that's manhandling Jubilee. And I told Andreas in the private chat, when Jubilee gets dropped by the Sentinel into Gambit's arms, nowadays, if they did that in a kid show, there probably would be a lawsuit or something, right? Or whatnot, for like Gambit, like catching her or whatnot, everything, right? He even flirts with her a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's. I mean,
that's his charm. That's his charm. That's Gambit.
Yeah, it's charm. Like I don't know about that.
He's got that southern charm, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's harmless. I think it's harmless.
He's a ladies' man. He's a ladies' man. No, but
it's ladies' man. Yeah.
No, so basically, we go to the mansion.
Yeah.
And Jubilee wakes up, right, and she ends up like finding her way to the danger room.
Yeah.
And now, so right after that, they go right into the danger room, which they don't really like. They don't show it in the animated form. It doesn't look as expansive as it does in the comics. In the comics, the danger room, it's basically like it's how Xavier managed to create some of this technology. I have no idea, but he created a room where they're able to the X-Men can practice against these tangible, like visual objects, these animated objects and whatnot, everything. Right? And in the comics, they fight against the real villains like Sabretooth and shit and whatnot in there. Like that's what they do. Is like take on actual villains and whatnot. They built Cerebro, right? He built Cerebro too, with Beast probably too. But we see him back at the mansion, right? And Professor X pops up. We see Morph on the TV watching the TV, right? And he's like making a joke about Calvin Clone or whatever, right? When he sees an advertisement, and you see him Morph doing his cloning.
Yeah, my favorite line from Morph is like, "I am the president of the United States, and I'm an idiot."
Yeah. That's one of the first thing he says, right?
Yeah. It's very funny when he pretends to be Sandra Kelly.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's right, because it shows Sandra Kelly on the news. So we see Wolverine for the first time. He comes out, right? And Professor X ends up sending Rogue, Morph, Beast, and Gambit with Cyclops and Storm to go figure out get to steal the government files, right? And figure out who's behind the Sentinels, the Sentinel program.
Yeah. So they go to the mutant registration agency where they're keeping all the registered mutants. They're gonna delete them. They're gonna destroy them so that
destroy them. That's right. They're not trying to steal them. They're trying to destroy them. Yeah.
Yeah, and like try to not allow one of these persons that are working inside the government to use it in the Sentinels, because we saw from Professor X talking to Jean Grey, aka Marvel Girl, that they're using the file to like track them and find who they are very easily. So that's why that Sentinel knew who Jubilee was, because of what the dad did in the beginning of the episode. So that's why they went there. And I really like that. You get like a couple of backstories for the characters, like Rogue, saying that she kissed a boy and then that's how she discovered her powers, which we get a major episode in season 2 to explain that, and particularly the Cara Danvers.
That is her real origin story of how she first activated her powers, similar to Jubilee.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get Beast. Beast is great. He's like, Beast is my
that's
favorite.
right. Beast. Yeah, we do get introduced to Beast too. You're right. He's the best.
Yeah, he's a great character. There's like subtle things you don't like. If you love Beast, like he's such a smart character. He always cites Shakespeare and all that. It's so good, and like I love how they do that in this episode, which is great. And then Wolverine. What else do you want to say about it? Like Wolverine is voiced by the voice actor for Snakes and one of those video games. I don't know, Snake Eyes or something like that. Wolverine is great here. He's such a tough Canadian mutant, which is great. Like he has one of my favorite lines in part 2, where it's like when he is so angry at Cyclops, and he's like, it's like Cyclops saying sorry to Wolverine. It's like, look, I know you're angry, and then he just like punch him to the stomach, and he's like, you need to see that coming, little man. It's like, oh my god! Like,
I know. With Cyclops, that's after the mission. You get
it's after the mission. I'm sorry, I'm jumping.
Just explain what happens in the mission.
Yeah, so the mission is successful. They delete the stuff, but because of Guy Rich kind of got a call that they're evading the place. He tells Drax to send a lot of Sentinels, and so they get outnumbered, and unfortunately, Morph is presumably killed. So we don't see him, so he dies. But Beast is alive, but Beast is captured, and like the first season, he's like in prison. It's a major story, like arc for the first season, and it's very funny.
Don't expect to see a lot of Beast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't expect a lot of Beasts in the team, but that's the. I was shocked when I rewatched the first season. I was like, oh wow, Beast is not in the team fully until like season 2, which is funny. But yeah, so he gets captured by the humans, and he will be in jail for a while, and then. Yeah, the Wolverine, he does.
They do a good job with it. They do a good job with the Morph death because they don't show it until after Wolverine has the flashback.
Yes, I really like that. Like part 2, like
it was a good move.
Good move too, because like it really.
They carried over.
Yeah, like it give you the like the situation, like
the second episode. Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, because I was shocked. Was like, what happened? And then it was great for.
I know it was
2.
kind of they did some sleight of hand, right? Almost like they leave you hanging. It's a cliffhanger. You're like, what the fuck? What happened there? Like, why did they go to black?
Yeah,
right. Like,
and then
and that's not even the end of the first episode. That's how the timing is. It happens in the second episode, right? But like, no, so that they're able to successful with their mission, but they take on Sentinels trying to leave, like Andrea said, and right. Basically, episode 1 cuts out and ends while they're still at the government facility, and Storm's about to enter the door, right? And it goes to black, and there's a room full of security guards, and we carry over in episode 2, right? The Night of the Sentinels Part 2, with Wolverine smelling the gun oil of the guns and alerting Storm, and Storm takes out the guards. They just they destroy the files. Beast does in the computer because he, like Andrea said, he's really intelligent.
Yeah.
And then when they come out, that's when the Sentinels come that Gyrich sent, right? And at that point, right, that's when they go to black on us in the audience, and you're kind of left in a cliffhanger. All you hear is Morph say to Wolverine, watch out, right? But you don't see it. You hear it.
You don't see it. Yeah.
And then it goes to them on the Blackbird, heading there, and they show up at the mansion, and everyone's like freaking out, and like some of the people are like upset and whatnot, everything, right? And that's when Wolverine fights Cyclops, right? And right at the bat, they show us like that there's hard feelings there because Wolverine's talking shit to Cyclops, and Cyclops is like, "I've had enough of this shit," or whatever he said. Whatever he said, some shit to him. He's like, "That's enough."
Yeah,
he was ready to fucking go. Cyclops was ready to go. Right? I'm serious. Cyclops is like, "I've had enough."
Oh my god!
I'm Cyclops, bitch.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I can't be called Cyclops little man. Cyclops is a big motherfucker. He ain't a little dude.
Yeah, but I mean, he has claws, and he has like
I'm just saying, Cyclops is easily like gotta be above 6 feet tall.
Oh yeah, I know. Like Wolverine, like if no one knows, Wolverine is short. He's like
he's like 5'5" or 5'3" or some shit like that. 5'4".
Yeah, something like that in the comics, because like in the live action movies with Hugh Jackman, he's tall. Like Hugh Jackman's like 6 feet, and it's funny when you look back on the first 3 films, like they always tried to hide the fact that Hugh Jackman was tall, and like they always shoot the camera very kind of low so you can think that Hugh Jackman was like shorter, and like a little bit like
They did that, yeah. They did certain things with the way that they would film scenes and whatnot, everything to make him look shorter than the other cast members.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think they stopped doing that. I think when Origins Wolverine happened, and like you saw him like his actual size as
it wasn't as important, I don't think, then to have that, to make sure that there was that difference.
No, and look, like and like it happened before.
Hugh Jackman doesn't look very tall to begin with, anyway.
No, I think like he has the right physique as Wolverine, like muscles, like the hairdo is like just like.
Oh yeah, no, he looks just like Wolverine, like Logan, but I think he is 6'1".
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Like I don't really care about the height thing. So like it's not. It got to the point where like it just didn't make sense. It's like just be him.
No. So Morph doesn't survive the first episode, man. But it's awesome though, because like that gives us like some of the classic lines after Morph's death. We get the classic from Wolverine, fucking right. Oh, the Mutant Registration Act. That's the other title of the episode. There's 2 of the titles I found. Remember? The actual episode title I found is the Mutant Registration Act.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. So folks, in your Disney Plus account and the Wikipedia, I'm looking out for my notes sometimes. They put together just the Night of Sentinels, Part 1 and Part 2. And I didn't know that there's another title for Part 2.
Yeah. That's the Mutant Registration Act.
That's a good title, because that makes a lot of sense, because it is about that, and that's something that Senator Kelly will bring on in the first season, because he's going to be a major character moving forward in first season of the X-Men show. But yeah. What was it like? I will revenge you, Morph, and like he pops his claws out. It was like,
Oh yeah, no, it's the best. Like after they Jubilee wakes up to being interrogated by like Guy Rich, right? Who talks with Trask and wants to know about the X-Men.
Yeah.
We see Cyclops take out the security tower, right? And that's when the Sentinels show up and Morph gets taken out. And this is in Wolverine's like flashback, right?
Yeah.
Or not even before that. So we see Jean Grey get attacked psychically through Cerebro because she's following the team through Cerebro, right?
Yeah.
And Professor X even says he can't feel Morph, right? So right there, Morph's dead. When Professor X says that, that's pretty dramatic for a kids show. That fucking they have a death in the first fucking episode, right?
Yeah.
The second episode.
Yeah.
They lose a character. Like, that's crazy. He's the first X-Men you see after Rogan, Storm, and Gambit.
Yeah, exactly. It just raised the stakes for the X-Men, like it's going to be personal, and like, the job of being a mutant, like being a mutant is dangerous, and you see that with Morph, which is really cool. And plus, I don't want to go too forward, but like, don't just watch out for Morph. You don't know he will come back, because he's going to play a major role next season.
Oh, he's Morph, baby. So no, but it leads into them coming back to the mansion and Wolverine trying to fight Cyclops with his little man bullshit, right? And
you see that coming, little man.
He's all pissed off about Morph dying, and so he carves off Cyclops' car's top and tells Jean, "Tell Cyclops I made him a convertible."
Convertible.
Right? Of course, Jean shows up when he's all pissed off, just like in the real life, just like in the live action movies, right? Like Jean shows up, right, to comfort him.
Yeah.
And Wolverine's like riding away. He's haunted by like the flashback. That's when we actually see the flashback of like Beast getting electrified and like Morph getting killed and shit. Morph saved Wolverine's life, and so later on, that's when we get like our first like, this one's for you, Morph, from Wolverine. One of many that we're gonna see. Like, this is gonna be just folks. Keep a track. There should be a drinking game for every time that Wolverine goes into battle, right? And says something about Morph or Jean right before he's about to fight, right? It's always about Morph or Jean. And like, it's
Morph
like, even going like later on, we're going to be doing season 2 and 3 of these episode reviews, and he's still going to be talking about Morph before he goes into battle. It's hilarious.
I know.
It's like, bitch, Morph was dead like episodes ago. Right, like,
yeah, and that's the thing I love about this show. It's so awkward. It's like it's like every show will forget about this character that died, but not Wolverine. And this show, he's like, he remembers Morph, and like he's in love with Jean, and which I don't know.
Wolverine's awesome at everything, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just so funny.
You can't go wrong with Wolverine, baby.
Exactly. So it's so funny. But hey. It's Wolverine. What else?
So from there, right? We get the president on the news, right? And doesn't she talks about the attack on the government facility?
Yes.
By mutants, right? And basically Cyclops shows up at the Jubilee step-parents' house as a setup to draw the Sentinels out. When the Sentinels show up, he wounds one of them. Like he fucks it up, like damages its arm. It goes back to the facility where it actually is from, and they follow it. The Blackbird, Storm Aurora, is manning the Blackbird. Her and Cyclops basically are team leaders at this point, right? Yes. Like, if I understand things correctly, like it's her and him, kind of in the comics.
Yeah. Cyclops was always the leader since the first build of the X-Men. So you get that information here in the first episode, and then Storm during the comics when Cyclops kind of retired, she was like the new captain for the X-Men. So it was actually cool. Like this episode, you see those two to be the co-leads, which is very true from the comics.
He had more of like an actual professor, like a student, like a teaching role.
Yeah, and then like Storm it's like the what do you call it, like the protege kind of role, whereas like okay, she was a student now she's like going up to be like the captain, after so many years of being a student in the school, right? It's kind of like that. But yeah, it's really cool to see that with those two characters, and that's always the annoying thing about the live action movies. Like they never do nothing with Cyclops or Storm as the leaders. Well, in X-Men 3, in the last end, like Storm becomes the leader there. It's like it's
They
okay.
didn't really have time. They didn't have time to flush all that out, really, But they do it. I like that they established that kind of right off the bat.
Yeah,
you can sense that there's like a duality there between the two of them. Right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that they're sort of like they're in the especially in the field, they're kind of in charge, right? Wolverine just kind of does his own fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like he don't care.
Yeah. What was his line? He's like repeatedly say like I go where I go or whatever. He say like I go anywhere I go. And it's like
when
okay.
he went to go like track down Jubilee.
Yeah, it is. And then he cut like he's like there.
That was so perfect. Wolverine X-Men animated that he said that too.
Yeah, and then he said it again to Cyclops after the morph situation. It's like, oh my god, really? Yeah, it was funny. We didn't talk about the not to jump to the factory yet, but like
no, go ahead.
I always like the Cyclops going to the bar where Wolverine was doing the pool, and like the stupid humans like knock off Cyclops glasses and like his glass lasers come on, and like it was very funny the reaction to that guy says like please don't hurt us, I'm sorry, and like here take your glasses back, and like and like of course Wolverine's still pissed off of Cyclops when he did, and I like how the way Cyclops kind of like convinced Wolverine to like go back to them and like defeat the Sentinels. It's like you know what, you want to know where the Sentinels are, and like I really like that scene, how to get Wolverine back to the game and try to stop the Sentinels. So that's I just want to bring up that scene.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. No, I mean we're basically towards the end of the episode, right? I mean, that at that point, right, that's when we actually see them go after and go and confront Gyrich and whatnot, and that's they actually turn the tables, actually like take like they don't get their ass kicked this time by the Sentinels like they did before. They get their asses beat the first time. Yeah. This time they actually fight back and they beat their ass.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that basically how we end things?
Yeah. Oh, and then also we got confirmation that the president is going to shut down the certain.
Shut down the program. The Sentinel program.
Yeah, and so that was a very important thing because the Sentinel program was going to be the next thing to be cut off, and so because like we're going to see Gyrich and Trax and the Sentinels again later in the series, and obviously we're going to get introduced to Master Mold, the big leader of the Sentinels, towards the finale. It's going to be exciting.
Most definitely. Basically the episode ends, right, with the X-Men winning, essentially, right? They deleted the files, right?
Yep.
They saved Jubilee, right? Although they didn't get Beast, sadly.
No.
He's incarcerated. But they try to interrogate him and he won't answer questions.
No.
He won't talk to him. And so, we get there is a nice scene at the end where Jubilee goes to her step-parents and she actually says, "You're the best step-parents I ever had," right? And they're like, "Will you come visit again?" But she's like, "My best place is to go to the school," right? Professor Xavier's, school of school for the gifted, whatever
youngsters,
right? Yes. And when we see her, basically, showing up at the mansion, the door with her bags. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
After like Jean and Cyclops talk for a minute, and Cyclops says something like, "You think I handled the things well with Wolverine or whatever?" I was like, "Whatever." I don't know if that was supposed to be like important or whatever, or whatnot. Like, but
I mean, he's the leader. Like, he took the risk. I mean, like that's the thing about the show. I like the X-Men is a team, and you see the risk and turns that they have to take as a team, and like Cyclops is the leader, and so I like that. They show you like Cyclops is the leader, like he takes a lot of risk, and like the choices is from him to lead this team to like successful missions and all that. Lead to death and have one mutant be captured, but like they did the job.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, so it's a good scene to show that to Cyclops that like despite his like hard like shell and like his hard nose nonsense, he's a person, has feelings, and he does have that guilt to letting Mark die and all that. So it's not like it's not all his fault. It's like he had to make the decision to keep the other X-Men safe.
Yes, most definitely. No, he did. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts, Andreas, on the first 2 episodes?
Look, I think it is like we watched this last year, and we watch it again. I think this episode holds very well. Like this 2 episode is really great. If you want to get into the X-Men, like this episode gives you everything what you like about the X-Men. It gives you really good information and just gives you like a lot of colorful and layered characters that you're gonna like layer the series. And they show you like this superhero show is gonna be different. It's gonna be like very like relatable, dark and psychological, and fun and fantastical, like a comic book show, and it has a light layers, which is great, and that's the great thing about these first 2 episodes. It's really great. I don't know when you want me to do ratings, but I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's top episode
for both.
Yeah, for both. Yeah.
I'll give episode 1 an 8, and I'll give episode 2 a 9.
Yeah, that's good.
They did a pretty good job of like of sharing screen time with all the main characters, I thought, right? And even I believe that probably it's because it's in the animated form that Morph's death just really isn't all that emotionally charging or whatever, really. You know what I'm saying? But then again, we're not kids. You know what I mean? So like, who knows what we would have thought as kids watching this, like Morph dying, right? Like,
no,
you know what I'm saying? Like, like I don't know. I don't remember what it was like to be 12 years old or whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a shock. And plus, like, as me and Jeff are kind of older, like, I know Morph, I don't want spoils, but like he's actually alive, but like you have to see that in the next season. And so like his death is not like permanent. His death is not permanent in the show. So
you couldn't help. You had to tell everybody that.
Yeah, I mean, people should know that because
people already know. Yes, they already know.
Like they should know, and plus they should know who's the villain that like uses Morph and next season, which is going to be my personal favorite villain. Like he's my favorite villain. I was so happy that he's the main villain for next season, which I'm excited to talk about. It's the shirt that you showed me in the chat, in the phone. So I'm very excited to see him next season. But yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah, the Morph death was very weak, but
it was weak sauce. But it gives us the awesome moments of Wolverine saying, "This
Morph.
One's for you, Morph," and everything, whatnot. So it's worth it, right?
Yes, or I will revenge you, Morph.
I'll revenge you, Morph. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's all about Wolverine's all about Morph. Let's do plugs and get out of here.
Yep, let's do it.
It looks like you got some new subscribers.
Yeah, well, I went up quite a bit this week. So hello everyone. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy Channel Presents. I'm up to 867 subscribers. So yesterday, for my last 2023 video, I did a Andreas Pop Culture retrospective review on the Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman. So there I did like a brief view of the show, and then I ranked my top 13 episodes of the show. So it's very long. Check it out. I worked hard. I worked on this thing for 2 years. I had to watch the show and and write my dialogue and then just give you my thoughts on my 13 episodes that I like. So I hope you enjoy it, and it's right there. Today I posted my last repost of season 1 of Loki. So this week you can check out. Soon I will post my season 2 full podcast of Loki season 2 later in, I think, Wednesday. So watch out for that. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And next Sunday, actually, speaking of live stream, next Sunday live stream, me and Jeff are back again. We're going to do Shang-Chi, Legends of the Ten Rings, the 2020 film, in Phase 4, starring Samuel Liu, Awkwafina, Tony Leung, and Michelle Yeoh. So that's something we're going to do. And then, yeah, that's what I got for this week. So a great start for 2024. Let's make this year great. I just want to thank you everyone, Jeff, for inviting me part of this group. I'm so excited to do more content with you, buddy, and Cyber as well. So got a lot of things.
I think you're gonna hit 1,000 soon, brother.
Hey, it could happen. So I'm very excited for that. So please support me and Cyber to hit that mark as well for this year, 2024.
That's a big jump. I'm telling you, folks. I noticed. I noticed when that subscriber, don't I, Andreas? I noticed when that count goes up. Show from show to show, like I do. When it goes up, I smile, right? Because I like to see it. Like I like to know that, I like to see the people around me doing well, right? So, anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to thank Andreas for all of the the time and the effort and whatnot and everything, and the patience that he's especially on the Bleeding Edge report, but on DC animated reviews we've done. On all the different TV series we've covered now together. There are lots of them, right? We could go on and on about it. We could do a whole show just talking about the shows we've done together, right? We've done so many. We've done more than I can count now at this point, right? And so he's a key part of the team here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge without question. He's literally, I'm trying to make it as 50-50 as I can with him on the report, right? And overall, he's just gotten better and better. On the panel, killing it, basically on our review shows. We're having a good time with What If so far. We've got a lot of good shit this week, right? We've got Face Off on Wednesday night to review. I haven't watched it in 20 years. It's going to be really great. Friday, we've got What If episode 4 and 5. We did 2 and 3. Now we're doing 4 and 5.
4 and 5. Yeah. You're right. My bad.
Yep. So one of episodes 4 and 5, and then on Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific is when I go live with Andres on Andres Pop Culture Guy Presents, right, to review Shang-Chi.
Yeah. That's our
which is going to be my first rewatch of Shang-Chi since I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I had a chance to rewatch it this week. It's still great.
It's going to make it for a good review because I have a feeling I'm going to like it better the second time watching it than the first time.
Yeah, I hope so because it's a great film. It's really great. Best. It
is. That guy kind of culty that I told you about, that YouTuber or whatnot that I like, he actually considers Shang-Chi one of the best MCU films ever made.
Which I agree.
And I think highly of him. You know what I'm saying and whatnot. So when he said that, I was kind of like, oh, okay, right. But all right, folks, we'll see you later. Happy 2024. It's gonna be, the year's gonna fly by, but it's gonna be a good one. We'll see you next time. Peace.
It's going down. It's going down.